We're talking to you, whoever is hitting that snooze this morning. Time to get up, get on up and get out there. Look at this beautiful sky in downtown Indianapolis. Looks so bright blue, although those are clouds that we're looking at. But those will be our friends, it sounds like, today. Well, hope you had a great weekend. I'm Julia. Matthew here in for Julia this morning. Sounds like we had a successful weekend, all in all, from police as far as all those big events we had this weekend.
That's right.
We kind of got lucky with weather, too.
That's right. We did. We saw some storms over the weekend. Some folks might have to cut the grass maybe
That's
today
true.
and tomorrow. The good news is we're going to be dry for a few days.
Yeah, I think today would be a good day to do it. Today is almost a gift before we get hot. The clouds are out there. There's just enough clouds and just enough breaks that we're getting that color that you saw in the cameras. That was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Really
great start this morning. But the clouds will keep us a touch cooler today. Before, it's going to feel like it's over 100 degrees later this week. That won't be the case today. Now, we have our infrared satellite, our nighttime satellite, or basically our night vision goggles on for the clouds this morning, and they're definitely over Indiana. You see it kind of going nuts out towards the west. What we got is some scattered showers and thunderstorms off towards the west, so it kind of messes with our nighttime satellite. But what you can see are the clouds streaming over us, and we may stay a bit on the grayer side for the first half of the day and then slowly break up the clouds throughout the morning. But you see the clouds in Carmel at 71, Fayette County got some clouds sitting at 66. The rest of us are a little bit too dark still to kind of see the clouds themselves. But we do have a couple new pop-up downpours, and it's a skinny line. In fact, we're watching the winds slowly come together just south and west of Indianapolis, and that's why we've got this zone now for a couple more pop-ups this morning, but many of us are staying dry. I want to take a closer look at some of these. They're northern Owen County, southern Putnam County, even right around Brazil and Clay County, got a couple of them. And then towards Paragon, there in southwestern Morgan County. Martinsville's still dry, but we've got some showers around us in between 69 on between Bloomington and Martinsville. So we'll watch those, but closer to Indy, we're dry. For now, most of those rain chances should stay off towards the south the next couple of hours. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking about this front. It's going to help bring in a heat wave the next couple of days. But in the meantime, we should be a little bit cooler throughout the day today. But so far, it looks like, Lindsay, those downpours are staying outside of downtown for traffic.
Yeah, they are. So we'll take you around the area if you are perhaps heading out to the airport to catch a flight this morning. Just double checked the big board. We are seeing out on the west side of town a few delays out of Indianapolis International. Here's a live look, I-70 on the west side near the airport this morning, where everything's moving along okay when it comes to our traffic. So no delays there if you are traveling along the city 465 from the north side or even downtown. Everything looks pretty good. Again, a couple delays, so make sure you're double checking your flight. And it looks like we've got some added flights out of Indianapolis early this morning. Did get some reports of some long lines out there, so make sure you're headed out there with plenty of time to catch your flight. Guys.
All right, sounds good, Lindsay. Well, this morning, praise coming from one of Indy's top cops after a safe weekend downtown.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey says no children had to be taken to their safe and secure location that they created for this weekend for kids out past curfew. Anna Chalker is joining us with Bailey's response, and he certainly, along with all the other city leaders, has to be excited this morning, Anna.
Excited and relieved for sure. Good morning to you too. Chief Bailey thanked those families and community partners for helping keep the kids inside and safe when tens of thousands were here in the city for all of the events that we had. So in a post on X, he says, once again, no children were brought into our safe and secure location last night. Huge thanks to parents, guardians, family members, and our incredible community partners who helped staff the site all weekend. This is what community looks like, and this is for our kids. So IMPD launched this safe and secure location last week as a new effort to respond to kids who were out past curfew and recent violence where young people were the victims and suspects. IMPD says they worked with grassroots organizations and state police to staff downtown and direct children where they needed to go if they were out late. And both days this weekend, Chief Bailey says no children were brought to that location. And along with this change throughout the night, officers announced when curfew was coming up and made social media posts to let families know as well. And we're still waiting on official numbers of how many people were here downtown this weekend. But we do know from the WNBA All-Star game, there was a sellout crowd, so definitely tens of thousands of people. So coming up on 6:30, we'll recap all of those events from the weekend and how people were still celebrating when all of that wrapped up.
All right, certainly a busy weekend, but glad to hear that it was a safe one.
Yeah,
So
certainly
Anna
was.
Chalker reporting live for us. Thanks, Anna.
Well, in other news this morning, we're learning the man accused of murdering an Elwood police officer now faces new charges for allegedly stabbing a prison guard.
Yeah, Carl Boards II is accused of stabbing the guard in April at a state prison near Peru. We're told that guard is expected to be okay. Boards now faces multiple charges, including attempted murder.
Prosecutors say there's body camera video of this incident. They also say Boards used a homemade metal weapon and said he was, quote, built for this.
Now, Boards is already facing the death penalty as he's accused of shooting Officer Noah Chanovez during a traffic stop back in 2022.
6:05 happening this week. A man from Lafayette who is accused of murdering a 4-year-old boy is set to go on trial.
33-year-old Montreal Jolly is accused of killing 4-year-old Keandre Jolly. Police say last July, officers responded to a report of an unresponsive child at an apartment on North 13th Street and Union Street. Now, they found Keandre, who was taken to the hospital before he died 4 days later.
Doctors later determined Keandre had extensive bruising, head trauma, and internal injuries. When questioned by police, according to court documents, Montreal claimed that Keandre was crying after he'd punished him for not putting his shoes on right. Montreal says he then found the child unconscious. That prompted him, he says, to call 911.
Now, an autopsy report later found that the cause of death to be blunt force trauma to the head and ruled this a homicide. Now, the jury trial is expected to start tomorrow with jury selection starting later today. 13 News does plan to have cameras in the courtroom for this case. So, of course, we'll keep you posted in this story and as this case develops.
Well, Hoosiers have been busy making their voices heard, protesting federal immigration policies here in Indiana.
Yeah, we know a crowd gathered outside Senator Todd Young's office in Carmel over the weekend, and their message was simple, quote, invest in our communities, not ICE. Protests were also held yesterday at Victoria Spart's office in Noblesville and Rudy Yocum's office in Mishawaka. Now, demonstrators say the government is setting aside billions of dollars for ICE, while millions of Americans are losing access to health care.
And we're really concerned that we are spending our money on ICE and not on the kind of things that will actually improve our community.
Now, a new CNN poll finds that 55% say that the president's deportation actions have gone too far. That's up 10 points since February.
Well, happening tomorrow night, you will be able to learn how to protect little ones in your home from poison control from common household items. The Westfield Fire Headquarters is hosting a poison prevention course tomorrow night from 6 until 7. So this will cover some common poisonous items that you may have in your home, like household cleaners, garage waste, and medicine, and some items you may not even know are poisonous. You'll also learn preventative measures and what to do if a child or perhaps even your pet does have a poison emergency.
And tomorrow, state leaders will hold a public meeting about gender markers on state-issue IDs and driver licenses. So you'll be able to weigh in on a proposed B&V rule to ban gender markers in compliance with Governor Braun's executive order. So that hearing is set for 9 tomorrow morning over at the Indiana Government Center South.
Well, where has the time gone? We are getting closer to pro football season. Coming up tomorrow, the Colts actually will arrive for their training camp.
Yeah, the time is flying by. So we know they'll be back up in Westfield at Grand Park, this year again. So the first day of practice is coming up this Wednesday, and there will be a couple of new things that folks can do at Colt City, including a new trick shot zone and toddler zone.
Colts weekday practices are free, but you do have to download a ticket first. And we have all the Colts camp details for you at WTHR.com.
And stick ahead. And so later this morning, we'll hear from the Colts and people over at Grand Park in Westfield about what Colts fans can expect this training camp. So that's coming up at 8 a.m. on our WTHR Plus.